Honda has been searching for a suitable partner starting from the 2026 season, and it seems they have found one in Aston Martin, according to the race. Although the engine manufacturer has a good relationship with Red Bull Racing, the Austrian team has chosen to partner with Ford from the new engine regulations, so Honda has had to look for a new customer. Honda is currently supplying engines to Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez's team, but Red Bull will collaborate with Ford starting from 2026. The Honda name has been present in Formula 1 since 1964, and the Japanese outfit left the sport for the last time in 2008 due to the global financial crisis, with 2 poor seasons prior to that. In 2015, they returned to the grid as an engine supplier for McLaren, where Jenson Button and Fernando Alonso were driving at the time. However, the Japanese power unit proved to be far from competitive. The ties with McLaren were severed at the end of 2018, but Toro Rosso, now known as AlphaTauri, decided to team up with Honda as a sister team of Red Bull Racing. This turned out to be a good move, as Honda suddenly made great progress. After just 1 year, they even convinced Red Bull Racing, which swapped Renault for a Honda power unit last season. At the end of 2021, Honda withdrew again from Formula 1, but it continued to produce and supply engines for the Red Bull Racing team in the background. Red Bull had also prepared for the impending departure by launching its own engine department called Red Bull Powertrains. Eventually, Honda changed its mind and wanted to have a more prominent status in Formula 1, but a renewed partnership with Red Bull was not possible, despite the successful collaboration. We explored the relationship for after 2025, explained Red Bull team boss Christian Horner regarding Honda. However, it simply became too complicated logistically. Just because the engine manufacturer have signed up now doesn't necessarily mean they will be there in 2026. Horner didn't want to risk Honda not building a new engine for when the new technical regulations came into effect. Therefore, on February 3rd, 2023, during the unveiling of the RB19, the collaboration with Ford Motor Company starting from 2026 was announced. In the past, the American auto manufacturer had already produced engines for the top class of Formula 1. Several Formula 1 teams were provided with Cosworth power units during the V10 era, which falls under the Ford brand. The last time Ford was active under its own name was with the Jaguar team, which dates back to 2004. Ford was the full owner of the team since Jaguar is part of the Ford Motor Company at that point. The new engine regulations of 2026 presented an interesting entry point for many engine manufacturers, and Ford has now taken the opportunity to join up with Red Bull. This all meant that Honda had to look for a new partner, and according to the race medium, all signs point to Aston Martin. Lawrence Stroll's team is working hard and has already charted a course towards the world titles in F1. To achieve this, the Canadian has modernised Aston Martin's facilities, and a new wind tunnel is on the way. Everything geared towards fighting for the World Championship, except for an exclusive engine deal. At the moment, the team is supplied with Mercedes power units, but this seems to be coming to an end in 2026. It's not even that surprising that Honda have seemingly ended up with Aston Martin, since Martin Whitmarsh, CEO of Aston Martin Performance Technologies, also mediated between the Japanese and McLaren teams in 2015, who eventually reached an agreement. If the deal actually goes through, Honda will have left the Fernando Alonso incident behind as well. The Spaniard was not pleased with the performance of the power unit in the early years during his time at McLaren. So will Ford and Aston Martin be a partnership made in heaven from 2026 and beyond? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Remember GPFans.com and GPFans Global for all the latest news in Formula 1.